And welcome to Heroes of the Storm. This is going to be my second video of Heroes 2.0, and what I really want to talk about in this video is, instead of rubbing my face all over, is why I actually play this game and what actually got me to keep playing over the course of the closed beta, and then open beta, and then release, and now in Heroes 2.0, which is arguably even better than release. And I love this game. So for those of you who are new, or just anyone really, because my channel is not too big, I got into this game because of World of Warcraft, probably like many players. Not for the sake of the MOBA per se, but the reason I got into Heroes of the Storm was a friend of mine had tried to get me into League of Legends, and I just couldn't get connected to the game at all. Like, I found it fun at times when I could play with friends and stuff like that, but there was just such a huge learning curve to getting into the game that I just couldn't do it. Like, I didn't feel connected to the characters, didn't feel connected to anything really, for that matter. And then I had received the open beta invitation for Heroes of the Storm, and I really, like, something about the game just struck me from the very beginning, basically, and that most notably is just being able to know the characters. And on screen, you'll see Thrall. And when I first got into the open beta, or into the beta, he was the first character that had been released, and or the newest character to be released. And I don't know what happened, but I bought him, and I just fell in love. And that's going to lead into a couple things why I'm actually playing this character today, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. And overall, it's not about being super competitive in the beginning, in my opinion. I spent a very long time initially playing and getting into just the heroes themselves, and just like learning a hero. Like, I found one hero that I really liked, and that was Thrall here, and I just played him forever and ever and ever, and just learning how to basically not die, like learning how the momentum of the game works, and just learning mechanics, like just getting better at the game, period. And not really paying attention to builds or anything like that. It's just doing what I thought was right. And I guess the best thing about Thrall is that his build really hasn't changed in the last 2 years. There's a couple different ones that did come to the forefront as he matured and stuff like that, but most of his changes have been through his ultimates here, and I would say right now they're in a better spot than they've ever been. But for the most part, Thrall is the same as he's always been. And I don't know, he does feel there is some age in the hero now, but for the most part, I think he's still pretty good. And I still really enjoy him when I want to just, kind of just do my own thing and just zone out a little bit. So after this very long-winded intro on why I play Heroes of the Storm, I'm going to play Thrall here and just talk about why I like the hero and why I think certain heroes like Thrall can help people get into the game. So, take it with what it is. This is a new video for anyone who's looking to get into Heroes, or just trying to find a new hero of which to learn the mechanics of Heroes of the Storm a little bit better. So, I'll see you in game, everybody. Alright, everybody, we're going to be on Cursed Hollow today. So this map is a 3-lane map in Heroes of the Storm. So, what we have here is one of the biggest maps in Heroes. And the main thing here in this map is there's different tributes that spawn, and you'll get 3 of them, and then it pushes down lanes. But I'll explain this as we get into further into the game. But for now, I'll talk about Thrall's talent, his first talent, and his basic abilities. So his first talent that I always, or for the most part, go towards is Rolling Thunder. So what this does is increases chain lightning range, and basic attacks restore mana. So if I use my Q there, you can see Genji now has a little fireball on him. And so when I auto attack him, I'm going to gain back a little bit of mana. Nothing too crazy, but it's something. I'm going to head to the bot lane, and so I can explain how Thrall works. Oh no, we have a Murky. Never mind. I didn't know we had a double specialist. I wasn't paying attention. He's gone. Ooh, that was a good Tropius setup. So, Thrall, as I've already explained, his Q is just a poking-oriented chain lightning. And then your W is called the Feral Spirit. So you throw it out, it's a straight line skill shot, and then if it impacts a hero, which you'll probably see later on in the game, they're very range oriented. So I'm not going to have too much luck, at least in the other game. And then just to explain how Thrall works, his trait is called Frostproof Resilience. And so his basic dealing damage abilities grants 1 stack of Frostproof Resilience, and at 5 you gain 326 HP. So this makes Thrall a very, very self-sustaining hero, and almost like a pseudo-tank when needed, because he can just sustain in lane on his own. As long as you're managing your mana well, you're very good at just sustaining. And I'm not trying to be over-aggressive here, because I know that they can poke me from a distance rather easy, especially Raynor. But for the most part, I can just survive on my own, and especially in a quick match setting where you're trying to learn the game a little bit. Someone like Thrall, it makes your life very easy when you might not have a support all the time. So this Raynor keeps dodging my W's. And I haven't been able to use my E's, but it's called Wind Fury. And what this does is a speed boost on my basic attack run speed, and then my auto attacks are charged faster. I'm gonna die here actually from that turret. So I went overextended there to try and show off my E, thinking I could after the Raynor got over aggressive from killing Genji. But it's too early. Thrall is not very strong in the early game. He's just very much a poke hero. So we're gonna head to the bot lane. So this is the first tribute of the match, and the tribute, you have to collect 3 of them, and then once you collect all 3, or one team collects 3, all of the minions on the enemy team will be reduced to 1 HP, and that allows you to get a very heavy advantage into pushing. All right, cool. Our Genji can stall this out. Our Murky is committing suicide on Hammer. I don't want to go in because of Hammer. We're gonna go ride Lightning. Gonna just keep poking. Probus is very good at zoning on this map, but we have, I think, a little bit better of a way of poking them out in the long term. As long as I'm not taking ridiculous damage. Ooh, Raynor soaked that. We do have Nazebo as well, though, so Nazebo is actually pretty good, too. Dealing damage. There we go. Hammer's up here now. And I'm just trying to not overcommit at all, just using my Q on cooldown to get kills, or just to poke them away. And as you can see, because of my own self-sustain, I've basically taken no damage here, but the enemy team has to retreat. Except, oh no, Hammer's okay. Gonna keep poking. So this is showing the value of my first level 1 talent, just to increase my poking ability into this. So Zul slows my attack speed, but it's not a big deal. I'm gonna start getting this. And as you can see, I'm single-handedly was stalling this out for a very, very long time, and letting my team kind of get kills with Genji's mobility and Nazebo's zoning and the Murky and his infinite respawns for the most part. There we go, Raynor just got hit. I'm gonna just throw my wolf out just to get extra damage. Whew. This was stressful. So we got it. And then there's the new banner that comes down when you get an objective. And so now at this level range, this is where you see a little bit of build diversity with Thrall. Where historically, I always go for the cooldown. I'm going to keep running here, just getting behind our tower. And I'm now going to turn on Zul. But I do not want to get hit by Probus's AoE. So I can either go for basic attacks, increased damage, or you can go for, which is follow through, or I go Wind Shear, which reduces cooldown. And personally speaking, I like Wind Shear because it reduces the cooldown by 4 seconds. So this gives you your hard engage ability and your gap closer, rather, not hard engage. It gives you your gap closer ability to kind of get into stuff, and then also get out and escape from things if you're going to be ganked because of that movement speed. So Nazebo's going top. It's going to probably be top left, yeah. So this map, the tribute spawnings are random. So we don't really know where they're gonna be, but we can kind of guess. So I procced Rainer's trait, which is a self-heal. They're soaking till 10. Looks like they're gonna try and give this one up. We killed Hammer though, so that's big. Genji's probably gonna come back in a second. But we're fine. Yeah, so he uses E, but he still got his W. And so he paid for it with his life. And then I'm actually gonna go Earthquake here, because their team is rather range oriented. So if I can get in the gap close with Earthquake or come from behind and gank with them, it'll be better off in the long run. And at level 20, it does get a tanky ult to provide a shield for our team, since we don't actually have a real tank. So just to give our team more tankiness as well is what the goal is here. Sunder is still very good. If you're not as new to Heroes of the Storm, Earthquake used to never be picked at all. There's always better talents to be picked. But now it does share its own unique place. Their triple specialist here is really annoying. I don't think I'll let Zool just free push. Should be able to get this kill. There we go. That was bad though, because Genji was the only one here, and there's 2 of us versus 4 of them top, so this kind of sucks. But Gargantuan is doing a beautiful job zoning. I'm probably gonna hit the sippy cup unless they're channeling, which it looks like they will be in a second. So I'm gonna try and poke their Genji, and then I'm gonna drop my Earthquake right over here where the team would try to be re-engaging, so that if they do poke into us, they're completely slowed and cannot get out. And then just like that, having this huge area of influence where the enemy team can't get in. Rainer went this way. Good jukes, Mr. Rainer. Good jukes, but he's dead anyways. And just like that, we got the first tribute of the game. So now everyone on the enemy team is cursed. And if you look at their minions, which I think they're all dead. Let's see. Looking at top lane? No, don't see them. I'll show you minions in a second. I'm trying to see if I can find them somewhere else on the map, but didn't look like they're anywhere. There we go. That's a kill. Their Genji is just use X strike. And so we got our next town, level 13 here, and I'm gonna go for Grace of Air. So every Wind Fear attack grants twice as many stacks of Frostwolf's Resilience. So that's my self-heal. So this makes me incredibly more tanky as the game proceeds, especially if I can hit with my E. This synergizes with my level 7 talent. I really, really enjoy this playstyle because Thrall is, you know, you get that enhancement shaman feel when you play him, where you're constantly using your energy. There we go, killed their enemy Genji. Good job. That was a good one. I'm gonna go back and get mana now. So we're up a level on the enemy team. We've got every single lane. The first fort has been destroyed. And we're doing good. We're doing real good. I'm gonna ping that I have my ult. I'm gonna say I have it so that I can use it. And then, so this is why I really gravitated to heroes, is being able to play a hero like this is being impactful in the game by not dying. I think a lot of what people get hung up on, especially early on, is that you're constantly using your abilities, you're not used to the flow of the game, because a lot of other games are actually, MOBAs feel a lot slower paced initially because of the way they're played, because you think you have to be using all of your abilities on cooldown, and then you get like, you know, overwhelmed by everything that's going on, because it's like a big chess match. It's super strategy, like paying attention to who's where and what's going on all over the map. but it really isn't as complicated as you think. And once you like understand the flow of stuff, I'm gonna use actually Earthquake here to prevent the retreat of Hammer and Probius. So Probius uses ult, but we're far enough away from him that it doesn't matter. So just like that, we got a really easy double kill. And Thrall is one of those heroes that I just played all the time initially. Not worrying about what I was doing specifically, but just learning the game, learning the flow, learning how to do things. There we go, we got a kill on that Zul with my poke, even though Genji got the kill, but it worked out. So at level 16 now, so if you want to go full poke build, you go Chain Lightning, gets a second charge. I used to do that build, but preferably I always get Tempest Fury. So this causes your final attack of Wind Fury. So I'll use it on a minion here just to, or no, I'll use it on this crystal. So yeah, 1, 2, and then 3. You saw that triple hit there. So this just gives you a little bit more of a burst at the end of your normal combo. So we're doing a really good job still soaking everything here. Enemy team is still not 16. We should go behind Probius and Hammer. I have my ult. Or I don't have my ult. So they don't know we're here. Because they have no vision of us. There's Hammer. And that's a kill. We should get the boss. So we can give up that tribute because we don't really need it. We have Hammer dead for 30 seconds. We have Zebo, and you can see I'm just sustaining 587 now at level 17. And even in quick match, I'm Thrall, I'm a pseudo frontline. I'm not really that squishy. And as long as I'm paying attention to my own positioning, we'll be able to do what we need to get the pressure on. I mean, is that, like, maybe the team might complain now that we didn't get that tribute, but it was only one. And they haven't been able to get any momentum, and we got boss out of the deal, so it winds up being a better trade. So these, like, little things to keep the momentum in our favor that the other enemy team can't deal with. So we're going to use... And I'm going to be able to kill Zul here, I think. Yep. Because Genji got killed, and there you go. There's another double kill. We should go get this trib. Get the other boss now. Keep the momentum going. While they're busy defending there, they just killed it. We have the ability to capture this boss now. Zul'jin is about to respawn, and there's 2 dead on their team, so they cannot contest us. These little things to keep the momentum in our favor. Keep them reacting to what we're doing on the map rather than the other way around. Keep the momentum. It's all about being proactive and looking at where the enemy team is either pushing too hard or getting too ahead of themselves. And this is not something I expect anyone to learn very fast. This is something you learn over you know, your first 200 games of playing. And it's just finding a character you're having fun with, you know? And that's what I did. And then this strategy, this level comes later on. And I'm not trying to say I'm a pro player or anything like that, but that's just how I like to think about these things. So Probius, see, we're cutting Probius out now because they're trying to get things going. So we killed this crystal, so now his ult is useless. He basically panic ulted. And that's another thing I want to recommend is try not to use your ultimate. If you're going to die, or you know you're going to die, and you're not going to get full value from your ult, don't use it. And there you go, we got Genji out. He wasn't expecting to rotate. And now we're going to push in. We just got 20, we're 2 levels up, and we're doing good. So I'm going to go Earth and Shield. So this gives you a shield 15% of your max HP for every pulse. This is huge. This makes our entire team infinitely more tanky into the late game. We're going to try and protect Zebo here. Obviously, you're going to prioritize Hammer because she has so much zone control. Alright, so we lost Murky, but we can still do something here. Just keep stalling them here, keeping their attention there. And as long as Genji's not up, I'm not really too afraid of being jumped on. Because they're a relatively low mobility team. And you can see all of our lanes are completely pushed in, and we're right about to get to another tribute. And I'm going to ping that I have my Earthquake off of cooldown, so my team is aware. To ping, you alt-click an ability. So I got knocked back there and stunned, but it actually saved my life because of that. And I'm going to drop it now to give all of my team the ability to heal or get a shield. And there's crystals up, so I'm going to focus the crystals and sustain myself and allow Mr. Genji to get out of that. And we have the next tribute, so we should push middle. So Genji used Reflect. I didn't attack him. I have my Q up in 1 second. I'm actually just able to attack him to death because of my Wind Fury movement speed increase there. And we're gonna win the game, I think, right now. Everyone on their team is dead. The only thing that's left is the core. Bot lane and top lane and middle lane the keeps have been destroyed. So now catapults will spawn at our core to push. But we're high enough level. We're 2 levels up on the enemy team still, and we win. Really easy, super easy game. Kept the momentum up through the entire match. I think I only died 1 time. And there we go, MVP, and I think I actually really deserved that in this one. As you can see too, 20% of the healing in-game, I've just pointed at my screen like you guys can see it. So, and then to do new emojis, GG's there for everybody. I'm gonna upvote myself because I really like Thrall. Alright, so we'll look at the stats real fast. And as you can see, I'm level 24 with Thrall. Just to show you how much I've actually played this hero. And we did 4, 19, and 1. So I only died once in the entire match. Only 1 time, and I was all over the map, making my presence felt. And I did 50,000 siege damage, 31,000 hero damage. Not the best in the match, but notable. But that doesn't matter. Like, the fact that none of these stats are actually the top, they're not the highlighted ones, I was able to not die. Not dying, you know? Not only 1 death, and everyone else had at least 3. 8 on their hammer, 6 on their Zul, or on their Zul. We have both Zuls, Zul and Zul. Heh. But my talents were, this is like a hybrid build of Lightning, but I would rather call it the Wind Fury build. Because the Rolling Thunder, so your early game is based around poke. So these 2 talents, these just help you sustain in lane early game and keep your mana up and just be self-sufficient. This talent helps you get in and get out, so you can use your Wind Fury more often to, as you see, engage opportunities. Earthquake, because we needed an ability to slow their team down, because they have Hammer who has an escape, Probus who has an escape, but no mounting options. Raynor who's slow, and Zul who's slow. Genji, he is super mobile, but if he has those abilities on cooldown, that gives us an even larger window to actually take him out. And then the late game, we get 2 more Wind Fury talents. So we get Grace of Air, so this gives us more sustain to be a pseudo tank, especially considering we don't have one, really. We had no frontline at all. I was the only melee character in my team besides Murky, but Murky doesn't count. He's just an annoyance. And then Tempest Fury to give us more burst into the late game. And then Earth and Shields at level 20 to give our team more tankiness and staying power to couple in with all that slow. And so this is what I would do for Thrall. If you have a more coordinated team where you need to burst someone down, it is definitely recommended to go Sunder. And then the one thing it actually doesn't say here on the tooltip is that this ability can be cast even if you're stunned. So if you say you like are about to cast it and then you use it and then like I'm trying to think who would stun you, like a Muradin or an ETC, like if they slide into you or Q you or you get stunned for any reason, this ability will still go off. Same thing with Earthquake, because there's a lot of times that you would use those abilities and then it would happen. Doesn't say on the tooltip, but it's a thing. And then if you don't do that at level 20, you would most likely go for Bolt of the Storm in a more coordinated setting. Alright everybody, and that is going to be Thrall, the War Chief, or Shaman, Enhancement Shaman, rather. Not really War Chief, he used to be. And I really like this hero, and I still do. At times, in certain comps, he can feel a little bit lackluster, but if you play him right, and you don't get it in your own head or your own skin, you can make him work. And for those of you who are new, there's his base skin. Looks pretty cool, I would say. And then, for those of you familiar with World of Warcraft, this is his previous Master Skin, World Shaman, Thrall. So, it looks pretty cool. But my personal favorite, as you saw me play, is the Elemental Thrall. I really like these ones. So, there we go again. Thank you all for joining me, and welcome to Heroes 2.0. Yet again, I keep saying that in all my videos, and I think I will for the past 2 weeks or so, or for the next 2 weeks or so. Just guys, you know, for anyone new joining in and checking it out, because this is amazing, and I'm really excited, and I want to keep this momentum going. Let me know what you guys think of Thrall, or who you think are good beginner heroes for those of you. But I'll reiterate it one more time: is don't worry about who you're playing, if they're meta heroes or whatever or anything like that. Just play who you like. Pick one. Play it, get really good, and then, you know, as you see other people play heroes really well, you'll get interested in those and be like, I want to try that hero out. And maybe you won't be as good, but you'll get better over time. And that's, you know, that's all this is about, just getting better. Just getting better as you play. So, thank you everyone, and see you next time, and like the video, and please share as you see fit. Bam! We did it.